What is up, my little corrupted files? Now, welcome back to another video. In a few hours, or in a few minutes, I'll be posting another video. So yay, a day where I post 2 times. But today we're going to be doing what if Deku joined Overhaul. So let's get into it. Deku is going to Deku's gonna have multiple quirks, and the way we're gonna do it is he's kind of like a Nomu, but he's a smart one like Kurogiri. So, oh, Overhaul is running some tests, on Deku. Well, first let's get into Deku's childhood. Deku had a very weak body as a child, could barely even walk, and so oh, when he Overhaul had found him. Overhaul was very harsh on him, trying to make sure that he'd be the perfect Nomu to take out All Might. Deku has, I'm gonna say 4 quirks, and I'm gonna say only 2 of them are known right now. But one of them is super strength, like on some one for all. There you go. On some all for one type strength, like if he slammed his hand into the air, which doesn't really make sense because you can't slam your hand into the air, but you know what I mean. It would create a shockwave that would destroy a building. If any of you have watched AOT, like that one Titan, I forgot his name because I forget every Titan name, but so well yeah he has massive strength. If he kicked the wall, a hole would be in the wall. So that's his first quirk, super strength, and his second quirk is called Flash Forward, where he basically creates an image of himself. Like wherever he looks, he teleports. But before he teleports, an image of his shadow that's like light blue pops up, so you can kind of tell where he's coming from, but not really, because if you're not paying attention, then you'll get knocked out easily. Plus, it's still really useful even when you know what the quirk does or where he's going to go. Alright. Only 2 of his quirks are unknown, like I said. He has 4 quirks, maybe more, possibly in the future. And let's just jump into it. After One for All's harsh training, One for All for One, I don't really care anymore. After All for One's harsh training, Deku ran away. Overhaul would walk down the streets, finding a distraught Deku. "Please, sir, help! They're coming after me." Deku is, to remind you, Deku's, I'm gonna say Deku's 12 when Overhaul finds him. So, Overhaul says, "Get off of me. You're touching me. You're because you know how, Overhaul is germophobic, so, but then he sees that Deku is just wrapped in bandages all around him. And this is old Overhaul, like, he has a little bit of sympathy. So, he tells Deku to get behind him, and a few of failed Nomus come out. And they run at Overhaul with the intent to kill. And Overhaul just touches one, and then poof. They're dead. And so he keeps just killing them, one after one after one, until they stop coming. Deku, who looks up, says, "Thank you, mister." Overhaul then says, "Come with me, kid." So now we're getting into canon real quick. So, also, yeah, Inko's dead. Inko's dead. Yeah. So, basically what happened was Overhaul just walked into Deku's apartment, and Inko was cooking or something, and he killed her from behind, and then because she couldn't see while she was cooking. And Deku ran downstairs asking, is the food ready? And just saw a dead Inko and Overhaul standing over her. So then, now let's get into Ken and Deku now. So Deku is, I'm gonna say he's gonna be older than Ken and Deku. Like he's probably about 23, 20, 21, something like that. Let's just say 21. Alright, so Deku's 21. He looks exactly how his picture looks on the side. And so he sees Eri. He sees Overhaul coming with Eri, and he's basically Overhaul's right hand man. And so he sees Overhaul coming with Eri. Also, Deku has 2 poles on his back. He doesn't need swords or nothing. He just has 2 poles on his back. And so that's basically his weapon. Because with his strength, that's dangerous. So he sees Overhaul walk in with a scared Eri. And he squats down until like where his hands are on his knees. And he looks at Eri in her eyes and says, "It's okay. Don't worry. Mr. Overhaul will take care of you." As Overhaul brings Eri to a room, he closes the door, saying, "Deku, I didn't know you'd be back from your mission already." And also, yeah, Deku wears the exact same suit in the picture. I already told you, he looks exactly like the picture. So, Overhaul says, "Deku, I didn't know you'd be home so soon from your mission." And then Deku says, "Yeah, it was really easy." So then Overhaul says, "Well, I'm gonna need you to do another mission for me." And Deku says, "But I just got..." "You know what? What's the mission?" And then Overhaul says, "Well, there's some students, class 1A, that is training outside today. And instead of the what was it called again? The attack that Shigaraki and them did, they're not going to the USJ. How can I remember it now? But they're not going to the USJ. They're just training outside. Simple combat, free for all." And Aizawa was just standing back watching them. So he says, "I want you to, kill a couple, or at least thwart what they're doing right now." And Deku says, "Okay, I can do that. Pretty easy." So Deku walks outside, and in a flash, he uses his second quirk, basically. In a flash, Overhaul can't even see Deku anymore. And he walks into the room with Eri. Overhaul walks into the room with Eri. Now, we're with Deku now. And Deku is halfway on his way to, I'm still gonna say USJ, but they're not at the USJ. Halfway on to the USJ. So then he gets to the USJ, or the training camp that they're at right now. And so he sees Bakugo, and then he has this small little flashback of older Deku, because remember, Deku is older in this canon, seeing a little kid bully other little kids. And then he says, "That kid seems familiar." But nonetheless, Deku comes in quick. They see like a blue image, shadow figure, but it's like completely blank, just blue, light blue. Just pop in, and Aizawa eyes widen as he kicks Bakugo in his stomach onto the wall, through another wall. And then Deku says, he was actually able to survive that? That's surprising." Deku takes the 2 poles off his back as they make a clinking sound when he takes them off from each other. Like a kind of like sheathing sound, I guess. And so Deku swings one at Mina, and Mina just jumps back. Because she just saw what he did to Bakugo, so he must be pretty strong. Aizawa says, "Kids, run." And Aizawa activates his cord. And at that moment, Deku's about to teleport over to Aizawa, but he can't. So then Deku says, "Well, frick it." And then just runs to Aizawa, like at the speed of freaking light. In a flash, not using his quirk, by the way. He's just very fast. Just starts swinging both of the poles at Aizawa, relentlessly attacking, until one of them finally hits Aizawa in his face, making Aizawa close his eyes. And then Deku jumps back and then uses his flash quirk, and Aizawa looks up and sees Deku about to kick him and puts his arm up to stop it. You guys know what I mean. Yeah, if you watch an anime, you know what I mean. And so Deku clashes with Aizawa's arm and then jumps back and then starts running towards Aizawa. Again, this time he dropped the pole, swinging his fist. And when one finally hits it, hits Aizawa in his stomach. And Aizawa coughs up like a whole pool of blood under Deku, making at least the lower half of Deku's white shirt get a little red stain on it. And Deku says, "You got my shirt dirty," and then kicks Aizawa in his face, making Aizawa fly into a whole different district of the school. And then Deku walks in, the UA students screaming, running away, right? And so Deku walks in, about to hit Aizawa one more time, putting him into the ground before Deku just senses something coming and covers his ears, and it's President Mike screaming. And then he says, "Shoto, are you okay?" Not Shoto, Todoroki, you know. But, "Shoto, are you okay?" Shota, I think that's how you say Aizawa's first name. "Shota, you okay?" Aizawa just mumbles, "Does it look like I'm okay?" Before coughing. And then Deku just jumps back. And he says, "Dang." And he picks up one pole and just starts swinging it at President Mike before more pro heroes come. And Deku says, "Oh shit, I won't be able to get out of this one." And then just as he says that, a huge hole gets put in the wall by Rappa. And Rappa walks in saying, "Deku, let's go." Then Deku says, "Ah, my favorite, Rappa. Let's go. Hurry." Deku jumps on Rappa's back and Rappa just runs. And Rappa's never want to back down from a fight, but with multiple pro heroes there, I'm pretty sure Rappa would have known. It's time to go. So, they get back to base. And Overhaul walks out of Aries' room with, like, blood on his hands or on his gloves. And he goes to wash it, and then Deku puts his hand on Overhaul's shoulder, and he says, "What did you do to that girl?" And then Overhaul says she was being stubborn. Deku just sighs, going into Aries' room, comforting her, saying, "It's gonna be okay. Just fall asleep." So then Deku puts Eri to sleep. And then the next day, Deku's just hanging out with Eri. Eri's favorite is Deku. She hangs out with Deku and Rappa. So, but her favorite is Deku, since he was there to help her. He's like, "Mr. Deku," but she's like still kind of scared. She's like, "Mr. Deku, can we go out for ice cream?" And then he says, "Sure, Eri," putting her on his shoulders like he's a big brother figure to him. He's a big brother figure to her. And he goes to go get ice cream, but he passes the blonde-haired kid that he kicked in the wall earlier. Now, this is where we're going to be leaving it off, guys. Peace. Love you.